Good evening. Welcome to the Breakfast Club evening session. This is Joe Shoup. If you just type in that chat box, let us know that you're there or that you can hear me. I think we have the ability to do that. I'm not sure. Let me double check. And I don't know if we do or we don't, but we'll be okay. Anyway, welcome, and we're going to get started right away. We're going to, we had a discussion. You know, I talk pretty much every day to people who are building their business, and people want to know certain things. You know, we discuss topics, they ask me questions, and one of the things that comes up often is placement, what to do, how to place people when you bring a new person in, where should they go, do you let the system automatically put them in, or do you have a strategy? And once again, if you can just type in the chat box, let me know that you can hear me. We have a delay when I ask these questions. You know, we have a delay. So when you type it in, it takes about 30 seconds for me to see that. So I'll just keep looking here in the admin office and see what's happening. But again, back to the topic of positioning. Why do you place people in certain places? How do you do that? What's the philosophy behind it? Now, there's a lot of leaders that'll tell you, let the system do it. So I'm going to speak specifically tonight about a dual system at Karatbars. Good. Thanks, Vicki, Cindy. So it's important to understand, simply because people come into the systems and they realize that people are going to help them. That's what everybody says. We're going to help you. We're going to place people. We're going to put people here. All that happens. The dialogue happens, and then a lot of people don't see it happening. And I think most people don't understand how to do it. They don't understand the process behind it. So let me see if I can share my screen, give you some education on that so you'll be able to understand better. So let me just try to share my screen here. And I should be able to share it here. Click share. And we should be able to see this. If you would kindly let me know, I'll have this up here for you, but once I go on full screen, I cannot see the admin any longer. So I definitely need to know whether or not you can actually, I think I can't see it now, actually. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Well, I'm going to assume you can see my screen. It will come up, and we will go right from the beginning. And there we go. All right. Where to place your new affiliate. In a dual system, let's call it that it is two sides. Normally they call it a binary, but because of the way that one functions in Karatbars, they don't consider it a binary, but binary means two. And so we're looking at dual system, a dual positioning. And when a person, and it's only one of the ways they get paid, it's done that way for compensation purposes. So it's one of the 7 ways or so that you can get paid in Karatbars. So it is important immediately when your new person registers to take them to their back office, have them go back there, go to the dual system, and go make the adjustment. Now, I'm going to tell you why we make the adjustment. Here's the importance of that. Placing them on the correct leg of a dual system. 1, supporting the group's power leg or pay leg assures the growth of everyone's single line or their pay line. Let me explain that. For those that don't understand a power leg, it's a leg that your upline is working on, and they place people there, you place people there, your downline places people, and it becomes a more powerful leg than the one you are going to build on the other side, basically pretty much by yourself with your new team that you recruit. And that's a power leg is something that's structured way above you. It should be anyway. And the truth is, you will develop a power leg on the other side once you support that first leg. Now, it's important to support that. The second thing it does, it gives confidence to the new person that the team is at work, meaning that if you brought a new person in and you were recruiting and you had placed a person in that on that side and they saw somebody under them already, it certainly would give them some confidence that you were working and someone was working. The other thing, the important part, is that it avoids creating orphans in your organization. I'm going to show you what an orphan is tonight and why it's important. And this process gives incentive to the new person to get started faster and enables them to get paid more quickly. So those three things are very, very important. They're reasons why you do it. And here's the process. You have your new person log into their back office. Now, you're going to have to go back there and do it. I'm not going to go through a back office example. You go to the back office, you go to the dual system area, and you assign the position either left or right. You'll see that it's already set on automatic. That means if you brought a new person in, the system is automatically going to place them on your left. It's defaulted left. The next one you bring in would go right. And that's how it works. It goes back and forth, basically, depending on where it's needed. But it will go automatically to the left. The very first person you bring in, if you do nothing, it's going to go on your left. And I'm going to show you why that's not good. So you have to assign, get them to do that and set that position right away. It benefits everybody. Remember, it's the success of the team. It's not just them. It's not just you. It's everybody above you and the people below your new people. And assigning it left or right will depend on where that person is positioned with regards to the sponsor. Again, you will see that in a minute. And the thing to do is, if you are a new person, no one has guided you to this, is you go to your sponsor or your active upline and ask the question, where are they in the positioning? And again, we're going to look at the diagram and show you that. Okay. So the process. The new person now recruits a minimum of 2 people to be placed on the side that they have chosen in the previous step, right? You've chosen left or right, and that again will depend on certain circumstances. But at least a minimum of 2 people when a person starts should be placed on that side. And it doesn't mean that these people are family members or friends that you want to help just by putting them in the system, thinking you're going to make them money. That's a terrible thing to do. 1, it will slow you down, and 2, it will basically, I'm going to use the word cheat your upline. And you'll, again, as I get to the diagram, you'll see why. It's not fair for someone to do that. And even if you did, I'm not saying don't put your family members in. If you want to do that, you go right ahead. But that doesn't count unless they are legitimate business people who truly are serious about building a business. Then they could count as 1 person. But if you put your brother in, and then your best friend, and then your sister, and you put them underneath of each other, that's not 3. That's 0 that you placed so far. If none of them have any intentions of working the business, even if they just wanted to buy gold, they do not count as an affiliate placed in the dual system. And in my opinion, it's a requirement that you place 2 people there. And again, you will see why. So after placing those 2 or more serious people, the placement should now be redirected to the opposite side in order to start building that side and to ensure that you will be receiving compensation. Remember, it takes units on both sides to actually get compensated. So let's take a look. a little bit further. Let's make an assumption. Let's assume that in this first position here, your sponsor places you there. Let's assume they're brand new. Okay. Now just picture up above the sponsor a line going straight up. Everybody's on the left. Your sponsor is on the left side of his sponsor. That person's on the left of that person, and so on. Everybody's down left on this side. Now don't worry about the right side. That's his responsibility. But let's assume for a minute that your sponsor places you here. Okay? Now, that's one of his. And let's say you are a serious person, wants to work the business. So there's the one serious person. And let's say now that the next person he puts it here. Okay? You didn't even get a chance yet. He put him in. You're not really working, and he placed his first two people right here, right there. One is now under you. You would probably feel pretty good that your sponsor is working and that now there's a person under there. You probably have that discussion. How'd that happen? This is Tom Jones and that. So now he has basically filled his requirement. Minimum. He might go to the third person and put another person in. But let's say that he is continuing, and the person that he put here is you, and he put Bob here in the second position. Now, let's say Bob follows the same pattern. You changed yours to left in your back office. This changed left. Guess what's going to happen? Your first person is going to go here under Bob, or maybe Bob did it first, doesn't matter. And then there's going to be another position under there, and so on. Everybody's going to get two, and that left side will begin to look like this. It'll keep going. Everybody gets two, and then they go work the other side. Well, let's go back a step. Everybody should see that if everybody put two in on the left side, then they could go build the right. That means that this leg is kind of a power leg, because the sponsor doesn't any longer, he doesn't have to put anybody down here, right? Because you put two people here, this guy put two people, this person put two, and everybody's building that leg on the left side. It's really making a deposit in the bank. If those people were buying packages, creating transactions, what you're doing is you're creating a bank account. That's what you're doing. Now, you can't take the money out of the bank yet till you go to the other side, right? But let's take a look now. I want to go back a little bit. I want to show you the disaster that could happen. Let's make an assumption this is you. Okay? Your sponsor put you there. And let's assume that you did not follow directions and you left the positioning alone and didn't touch it. You left it on automatic. Now, everybody should know by now that the first person you bring in is going to go on your left. But if you haven't touched that, guess where the next person's going to go? It's going to go over on your right. You have not contributed to that power leg by doing that. And here's the problem. Now, this person might follow the directions and get two, and that thing keep building like we showed you on the other diagram. But let's assume, again, this is you. You brought a person in, it went on your left, and the system automatically put Mary over on the right. Let's make an assumption now and say that you stopped working. Have you ever heard of people quitting? Because most people will. So now, let's say this is Susie over here that got placed accidentally, I say accidentally, shouldn't have been, over on the right-hand side. Please ask yourself this question. Now, you quit. You're not going to contribute anymore, are you? You're not going to go down your right side and build. And these people, maybe they're going to go build. Hey, that's cool. They're going to go put two people, and everybody's going to go get their thing. But you quit. Something came up. You quit, whatever it is, you're not there anymore. And we have Susie over here left out all on her own. I can tell you right now, if I was that sponsor, there is no way I'm helping Susie. I don't mean to be mean about it, but I am building an organization left and right. And the only way I would help Susie if Susie got going, but here's Susie left all alone when she should have been over here and getting two, and these people got two, and all of a sudden Susie's got a whole left side pay line or bank line, and she's got volume over there. All she's got to do is build the right now, which has happened to many people. But no, not instead. You left her out here to be an orphan, and now your sponsor's going, I'm not going in here because I'm helping. I'm building over here. I'm building my right side now. So here's Susie left it. Here's Susie's option. She has to start just like your sponsor. She's got to put a person left, put two over left, get those to do it, and then go build her right. But she's never going to get help from up above. Ever is she going to get help above. Now, the only way that would happen for me, if I saw Susie on her own going and doing this, and she's really creating volume, I would then go change my placement as a sponsor. I would get to know her. I would see what she's doing. I'd say, Susie, I'll tell you what, I'm going to come down and help you build. I'm going to, instead of putting people down on my right side or down on this left side here, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start building a strong leg for you, or I'm going to help you build a leg. As long as you keep working, I'm going to do it. And I will go help her. And it won't matter if I go left or right on her. I just want to help start a power leg for her. And I would go in and help her. But I can tell you right now, 90% of the people in this business, A, don't even understand that, and B, aren't going to go help that person. Instead of looking like this for Mary, she's sitting here all by herself. And then what do you hear in the business? Yeah, I'm in here, but nobody helped me. They just left me alone. You know why? They got put in the wrong position. That's what can happen. It's as simple as that. So once you did the right thing, let's say you did the right thing, you came in and you put your two people in, your sponsor put you in and put Frank in, and then you put another person in, and then Frank put his two in, and then these people put their two. You'd see how that leg would grow. Now you say, okay, I see this leg's going. I'm going to go over here now. I'm going to start my right leg. You go in, you switch your thing to right, you bring the next person in, and you leave it right. And guess what you tell this person? Go in there and change to the right. I want you, John, whoever you are, Frank, I want you to go in the back office. First thing, I want you to put it right. And we'll stay in touch. And when you get a couple of people on the right, let's talk about who they are. Because he might put his sister and brother in there. You don't even know it. He says, yeah, I put two in there. And then he moves to the left. Well, he hasn't done any good here because his sister and his brother are not going to build anything. They're not going to put anybody in. So therefore, that leg would never grow. You got to make sure that these people that they're putting in are legitimate business builders or people who want to work, who want to follow a system. You must be part of a system whereby recruiting never stops. Can you see how that could happen? Ask yourself that. Recruiting would never stop if you kept up this system. Now, could you leave it automatic, go left and right and get lucky? Yeah, you absolutely could. But why not direct it? Business isn't about luck. Business is about planning and organizing. And this is a critical step. Now, once your sponsor has set this in motion and he sees this is going on, he's going to jump over here. Now it's on his right side. So let's say he puts Tom over here. Well, guess what he's going to do to the next one? He's going to put another here. But if he gets Tom, he's going to tell Tom, put two in. Tom puts two in and tell your two to place it right. So that keeps building there. Once they get their two, then you start monitoring this. And then you say, hey, Tom, now you got to go over left. Let's go build in there. And if he sees Tom's a strong person, he might change his position. He might help Mary out over here for a little while. But he might say, hey, I'm going to go in here now and help that. Look at Frank. He's really working. These people are going a little slow. But Frank was working his inside leg. He's got a kind of a big leg growing on the right. I'm going to go help him on the inside. He changes his position. He gets Frank to change his. And guess what? They go down and build down that left side down here. It's still your right, but it's his left. And you go down and help him build his left in this position here, and there it goes. This is not rocket science. Doing what's right is important because not only do you have to do what's right for the consumer, you have to do what's right for the people around you, because in business, your reputation is everything. If you tell somebody you're going to help them, well, this is the way to help them. This is one of the ways to help them out, is to get them started the right way. That's what's important here, is getting started the right way. So I'm going to take off my screen, and let's see if we can take some questions. If you have some, let me see if I can stop sharing somehow. Let me get out of here, go over here somehow, and we will stop sharing somewhere. Stop. There we go. Okay. Now I can go to the chat room, and I don't, yes, we can see, we can hear you, see it. Okay. Any questions? If you want to, you can raise your hand and I can open up and you can talk to me. So it takes a little while for you to make, to raise your hand. I don't see anybody raising their hand. And if you want, type in the question. It takes about 30 seconds for me to see it. But that's a pretty quick explanation. And that's how quick it is. It's simple to understand. And you can thank Cindy Valentine for prompting me to do this today. Because we talk, throughout the day and throughout the week and so on, and, get questions answered and trying to get a clear understanding of what her real plan needs to be. And this is a person I would go in on one side of her legs and go help and build. I would do it. I would encourage, her upline to do that. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Got to be some questions. Any raising of hands? You want to talk to me? And so how about you, Vicky? You got any questions, or you want to? I don't see anybody raising their hand, so I don't know, if there are questions or you actually get it. Otherwise, we will close early. We're 8 minutes ahead of schedule here. But I think that's important. You can go back over the YouTube. And by the way, if you want people to see that are not here, just send them to youtube.com and search for me. And then click on uploads and they'll get it. Here's a question. Thanks and blessings. Peace, hearty, golden hump day, wonderful Wednesday. Sure, A1. How do you find out who is above your sponsor to help you? Find out where they are. Good question, Vicky. First, you go to the person. See, you might not know the person directly above you. You might not have any contact with them. You won't see that. You have to call your sponsor. If your sponsor doesn't know, you got to go to the next person up there that's in your line that can help you, because you can't see the people up above you. They can see you. I could help if you were in my downline. If people were in my down, I could go in and look and see who sponsors were and so on. But I cannot go up above myself to see. The only thing I have is the phone number of my sponsor, and that's all you're going to have. So you should be able to call them. Yep. Then what we need, are you in Lloyd's organization? I think you are, right? I think you are. We need to get a hold. You just need to get to Lloyd. Go to Skype, click on, Lloyd Merrifield, and I'm pretty sure that's who it is. And you need to get to him and find out if he will go look this up and find out who that is. Yep, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'll be glad to help you. And, just to find Lloyd, I speak to him often, so it should be easy to get to him on Skype. And ask him who it is. Find out who the next person is that can help. Because that's important, as you can see now. Can you guys type in, do you see the importance of that placement now? Is it something new to you? You knew it or didn't know it or whatever? Make some comments here. And then we're going to go. We got about 6 minutes, actually. Well, I know people are typing. I guess it takes, like I said, a while to do it. You're welcome. If you need my help, Vicky, just get to me. Be glad to help you with Lloyd. But I think most people don't understand that basic positioning stuff. I know I hear people say, just leave it on automatic, go left and right, and don't worry about it. And I think that is a monster mistake. If you want to create orphans, that's what will happen. Or if you want to create that action and that duplication down line, that's how you do it. If everybody understood that and followed that pattern, you would have a lot less people, suffering without upline help. Then again, of course, we all know that you've been here, that you've been to the class and all. It's important to be able to go ahead and, communicate with those people and how to effectively do that. So anyway, if there are no more questions, you have a great night. You can see the replay, and we'll look forward to. We have I think a good class next week. It's possible that at least Anson Ashby will be with us. Jennifer's having a baby this week, hopefully, and we have a pretty important piece to Tools Rock that we're working on to get established, and we'll talk about that hopefully next week. So have a great night, everybody. Thank you for being here. I hope this helped, and have a great night, and we'll see you next week at the Breakfast Club. Good night, everyone.